Hello students. The next topic we are going to revise. Um, Yesterday we saw regarding low birth weight baby. On today's class we are going to revise the topic neonatal jaundice. So moving on to the neonatal jaundice. What does the word jaundice means? Jaundice comes from the French word jaune, which means yellow. When it is said that a baby is jaundiced, it is simply mean that the color of his or her skin appears yellow. Jaundice in the infant appears first in the face and upper body and progress downwards towards the toes. Premature infants are more likely to develop jaundice than the full-term babies. What is the reason present behind this? Yellow colorization. What is the exact thing? Further, we want to know about the physiological process of the functions. So before that, what causes skin to appear yellow? The yellow colorization is caused by an excess amount of bilirubin in the baby's skin. So bilirubin in the baby skin. Bilirubin is a yellow-red pigment. Normally, small amount of bilirubin are found in everyone's blood. When too much of bilirubin is made, the excess is dumped into the bloodstream and is deposited in tissues for temporary storage. So this is the main reason behind the yellow colorization. Okay. Why would a baby have excess bilirubin in his blood? Bilirubin is formed and released into bloodstream when red blood cells are broken down. RBCs are broken down. That will be the next. Newborns have a high red blood cells volume. So this increases bilirubin level. Newborns are having high red blood cells volume. This increases the bilirubin load. The bilirubin is then carried to the liver where it is processed and eventually excreted from the body. Like from unconjugated, it will be converted to conjugated. After that, it will be easily eliminated. So same like that. So here the liver is having a main role to convert the bilirubin level. Okay, then it can able to easily excreted from the body. So that is another reason. One is the RBC, second one is the liver. These both are main important for the excess amount of bilirubin in the baby. So first and foremost, if you are seeing heme, the heme oxygenate where it carries red color, which carries oxygen. Example, you can see here. So from the heme, it carries from here, it moves here. After moving here, what happened? This will change into biliverdin because oxygen is carried. Then biliverdin. This will change into biliverdin. That biliverdin moving further where the green color has been supplied, where the biliverdin reductase, then it change into yellow color, the bilirubin. Yellow color, the bilirubin. So example, oxygen carried. After carrying the oxygen, the cell received the oxygen. After that, the cell, after transferring the oxygen, it transferred to the waste product carrying the waste product. So this waste product is yellow color, where this yellow color has to undergo liver for a unconjugated to conjugated bilirubin. If it is undergo this process, then they can able to easily eliminate from the body. Okay, clear. So from here, this is having the main problem. What is the main problem? Here you can able to see that the heme or the bilirubin, which is secreted, the RBC, the extravascular or intravascular hemolysis, where the blood, hepatic, cyanoid. So here the unconjugated bilirubin that will pass over. Unconjugated bilirubin that will pass over. You can able to see from here the unconjugated bilirubin. 1 minute. So you can see here, this is the unconjugated bilirubin plus albumin. This will undergo two processes. One process is from here it will directly enter the kidney. From the kidney, it will be directly going in the process of urobilirubinogen, that is excreted in urine. This will be around 10%. This will be around 10%. Okay. Then second process is, you can able to see here, From the same, the blood, unconjugated bilirubin will process to the hepatic sinusoid, where that will move to the process of unconjugated bilirubin, that is transport with ligament Z protein, where the conjugated to glucuronic acid, where it has to change to conjugated bilirubin. Okay, so this will cross to the biliary system. From the biliary system, this will enter into the small intestine for conjugated bilirubin, where the bacterial prosthesis, which will be furthermore bring to the urobilinogen, that is 10%, will move from the urobilinogen via this portal vein, which goes to the kidney. Okay, then from here 90% will from the small intestine goes to the feces. Small intestine moves to the feces. So this is the why our feces and our urine are in yellow color. Okay, clear about this? Hope so you understand, because this is a revision. Already we saw about this one clearly. So this is the main process. So here the immaturity of the liver is not properly mature. So this area has the main drawback if it is not done. If liver is not mature, that will lead to the problem. So bilirubin physiology: increased production in neonates due to large red blood cells volume, which produces bilirubin as cells are broken down and shorter RBC lifespan. Here RBC lifespan is the second one. RBC lifespan is, instead of 120 days, here the newborn baby is having only 90 days. So this used to broken down faster. So heme is catabolized within the reticuloendothelial system by heme oxygenase to form biliverdin. So biliverdin is metabolized to bilirubin in the presence of biliverdin reductase. The next ligament is responsible for transport of the plasma membrane to endoplasmic reticulum. So bilirubin conjugated in presence of UDPGT, that is uridine diphosphate glucuronal transferase to mono and diglucuronodides, which are then excreted into bile canacular. The next, enterohepatic circulation, that is meconium contains 100 to 200 mg of conjugated bilirubin at birth. So conjugated bilirubin is unstable and easily hydrolyzed to unconjugated bilirubin. So this process occurs non-enzymatically in the duodenum and jejunum, and also occurs in the presence of beta glucuronidase and enteric mucosal enzyme, which is found in high concentration in newborn infants and in human milk. So same process what I shown in the image, same process only I am explaining here once again. Then commonly neonatal jaundice occurs for two reasons. Infant have too many RBC cells. It is a natural process for the baby body to break down these excess RBC cells, forming a large amount. So first reason is too many RBC cells. Okay. So there is possibility of the bilirubin that cause skin to take yellow color. Second one is newborn liver is immature. As I said previously, newborn liver is immature, that cannot process the bilirubin as quickly as well as able to get older. That is, can't able to convert them into unconjugated to conjugated. So due to that, the bilirubin is not eliminated from the body and circulating in the bloodstream itself. Okay, the next, physiological jaundice. If you are going for next, the types are physiological jaundice. First one, most babies with jaundice have physiological jaundice. This is the type of jaundice that is caused because of the neonatal process breaking down RBC cells. Other factors causing jaundice in infants: ABO incompatibility and RH incompatibility. Both of these conditions result in a very fast breakdown of RBC cells. Also, jaundice appear in infants with physical defects in the organs that work to eliminate bilirubin from the body. Okay. The next, blood group incompatibility. If a mother and baby have different blood types, the mother blood might produce antibodies that destroy the infant's red blood cells. So this creates a sudden buildup of bilirubin in the baby's blood. So incompatibility jaundice can begin as early as first day of life. So RH problem once caused the most severe form of jaundice, but now can be prevented by giving the mother RH immune globulin injection. Then clinical pattern of physiological jaundice are peak level of indirect bilirubin level is term infant more than 12 mg per dl on day 3. Then premature infant more than 15 mg per dl. Breastfeeding infant 15 to 17 mg per dl and formula fed infant approximately 12 mg per dl. Pathological jaundice. Pathological jaundice by definition, if significant in first 24 hours, this is going to be. The next, perinatal congenital infections. Then bacterial sepsis. These are the main reason why the child having by birth itself jaundice. Okay. The next, increase in the level of total bilirubin by more than 8.5 mmol per liter, that is 0.5 mg per dl per hour, or 85 mmol per liter 5 mg per dl per hour or per 24 hours. This is going to increase. The total bilirubin more than 19.5 mg per dl, that is hyperbilirubinemia, 19.5 mg. In physiological jaundice, there is possibility other in term infant no more than 12 mg per dl. But in pathological, there is chances are there 19.5 mg per dl. Direct bilirubin more than 2 mg per dl. Then next type is non-organic, that is breastfeeding jaundice. Breastfeeding jaundice or lack of breastfeeding jaundice is caused by insufficient breast milk intake, resulting in inadequate quantities of bowel movement to remove bilirubin from the body. This can usually be ameliorated by frequent breastfeeding. We can able to recover this problem by frequent breastfeeding. So here the main problem is inadequate quantities of bowel movements to remove bilirubin from the body. Reason is the lack of breastfeeding. Reason is the lack of breastfeeding. Okay. Particularly in case of mother with cesarean section and high risk for this condition. The next, breast milk jaundice. Breast milk jaundice, the next type is different more than mentioned entity, which tends to occur late in the first week of late or afterwards. This is going to occur, not at the beginning itself. So this is actually due to something in the breast milk. Exactly reason they are still finding out. Actually something in the breast milk that tends to prolong the jaundice. Usually the weight gain is good, but baby otherwise well. Jaundice may persist at least 3 to 4 weeks, but usually will peak by 2 weeks. This is breast milk jaundice. But main types are only the two types. The two types are physiological jaundice and pathological jaundice. Okay, so here we are moving to the clinical assessment. Clinical are in-gram ictrometer, then transcutaneous bilirubinometer. With this help, we can able to easily identify how the babies or what the baby's bilirubin level is. In this in-gram ictometer, there is a piece of transparent plastic known as in-gram ictometer is used. In-gram ictometer is painted in 5 transparent strips. With this help of the 5 transparent strips, they can able to match with the skin, particularly against the nose. Pressed against the nose, and the color will be matched. With the color, the level of the bilirubin will be identified. The next, transcutaneous bilirubinometer. This is handheld, portable and rechargeable, but expensive and sophisticated. When pressure is applied to the protophore, a Xon tube generates strobe light, same like our pulse oximeter. It will cross over and it will identify what is the level of bilirubin present in that. The light pauses and identify the color. So then it gives the direct reading of what is the level. Then clinical assessment of jaundice, we are using Kramer's staging. Kramer's staging, that is area of body and bilirubin level. Like zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5. Zone 1 is 4 to 6, zone 2 is 6 to 8 or 8 to 16. Okay, then zone 3 is 8 to 12, then zone 4 is 12 to 14, zone 5 is 15, more than 15. This is zone. So here face they are giving the score of 1, upper trunk they are giving the score of 2, then lower trunk and thighs they are giving the score lower trunk 3, and for the thighs they are giving lower trunk and thighs score 3, then palm and soles they are giving the score 4 and 5. 4 and 5. Okay, so arms and lower legs are having the score of 4, then palm and soles having the score of 5. It is clearly given in the image. So with this one, they will be directly calculating the score of bilirubin. This is called Kramer's staging. Clearly remember the name Kramer's staging. The next, Risk factor for jaundice. Jaundice risk factor are jaundice. J. Jaundice within first 24 hours of life. Then A for a sibling who was jaundiced as neonate. A sibling who was jaundiced as neonate. Then U. Unrecognized hemolysis. Unrecognized hemolysis. N. Non-optional sucking or nursing. Then D for deficiency of G6PD. Then I for infection. Then C for cephalohematoma or bruising. Then E for East Asian or North Indian. They are having high risk factor for jaundice. Next, Kernicterus, one of the main complications. Why we care about indirect hyperbilirubinemia? So, why you want to care about this? Staining of the brain by bilirubin, where the bilirubin level from the circulation it directly enter into the CNS. So, early symptoms are acute bilirubin encephalopathy, then poor feeding, abnormal cry, hypotonia. Then immediate phase or intermediate phase, you can able to identify stupor, irritability, hypertonia. So these are the letter one. Okay. So in this concept, this is the complication of jaundice. We identified the early symptoms and intermediate symptoms. When in case of stupor, a state of reduced consciousness or sensibility will be present. The next, irritability will be there. Hypertonia will be there. Hyperextension of the muscle tone. Then late, the child is having a shrill cry, no feeding. Then opisthotonus, the child is having opisthotonus, apnea, child is having opisthotonus, the child is having a apnea, seizure, coma, and death. So opisthotonus, which is given in the image, it is clearly seen here. This is called opisthotonus. What is it? You can able to see. This image is called opisthotonus. Opisthotonus, the child is having a spasm where the body is bent backward and stiffened. Where the child body is bent backward and stiffened. Clear? Then next, Kernicterus. Late sequelae can include gas abnormality, feeding difficulty, dystonia in coordination, then chorioacetytosis, then sensory neural hearing loss, painful muscle spasm. These are other chorioacetytosis. These are other signs and symptoms. The treatment, if treatment is required, commonly a Billy light is used, nothing but the blue light, white and blue light. You can say that phototherapy. Then another name of the light is bilirubin reduction light. So either phototherapy or bilirubin reduction light or Billy light. So what is Billy light? What is it? A Billy light consists of series of fluorescent light that are placed over the baby's bed. The light helps the baby to get rid of bilirubin found just beneath the surface of the skin. So it does not, see, it does this by changing the structure of the bilirubin, thereby making it easier to excreted by the liver. So here this Billy light helps the work of the liver, where it makes the unconjugated to conjugated bilirubin. So the Billy light is placed over the baby's bed, which will be either an isolated or a radiant warmer bed. So the baby is undressed to provide maximum skin exposure. The baby's skin will not darken or burn under this light. So about this care we had already seen in the practical work. So about phototherapy we will see separately one more classes. So about phototherapy care we know already once. Our demo and re-demo also completed. So the baby may be under the light for several days. Laboratory test and physical appearance guide the doctor in his evaluation of the baby progress. Where here continuous bilirubin level has to be checked to see that whether the baby's phototherapy was effective or not. This is isolated previous where in olden techniques. Then how is the baby carried for during phototherapy? Masks are placed over the baby's eyes to prevent exposure to the bright light. Then the baby's position is changed frequently to assure that all areas of the baby's skins are exposed to light, and also to assure that baby's comfort. The baby may be fed under light or may be taken out for the feeding according to the doctor's instruction. So how do the baby tolerate the light? Each baby is an individual and thus unique in his response to this treatment. So some babies are very fussy because they miss being wrapped tightly in the blanket. Other babies sleep very constantly. So while under the light, the baby usually has frequent and loose bowel movement. In some circumstances, his stool are greenish in color. This is temporary and should stop when treatment is discontinued. The medical staff at the hospital knows that you are concerned about your baby and realize that having your baby underneath. So where here the has to understand the and make the parents to understand this concept why the baby was under the phototherapy care. Okay, about the nursing management, if you're saying, first thing you want to see the history of the parents we have to collect. Then physical examination and we have to confirm. The next psycho-social assessment, impact of child illness and relationship with parents. The next family knowledge includes whether they can able to understand or not. So over this nursing diagnosis intervention are fluid volume deficit related to inadequate fluid intake. The next hyperthermia related to the effects of phototherapy. Next impaired skin integrity related to hyperbilirubinemia and diarrhea. Next impaired parenting related to separation. Next anxiety related to therapy given to the infant. So these are the possible nursing intervention for the baby, those who are undergoing phototherapy or for jaundice. Because just a glance as a revision, because already we had dealt with this topic. So just I had given the nursing management as it is. Okay. So hope so you have recalled your memory about our demo classes and re-demo also you are remembering, and about the nursing care what we had discussed, and about that nursing 10 points or 11 points you are clearly can able to give the answer for this, the role of the nurse, particularly the care provided for the baby under the phototherapy. Okay, if you want you can add on those also under this one. Thank you.